Wow. First of all, let me just thank everybody for being here. Faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and of course, my family. And of course, thank you for being here. Item A, my latest addition to the Osborne troupe, is about a month old, so she's at home right now, being taken care of. But thanks for showing up. Well, let me get through this. Faculty and staff and so on, and many of you know who you are, have been a big part of my life here at UCLA. But there are some folks that have gone beyond the call of duty, especially to make this event happen, and I want to single them out because in the Price Center, there's just a remarkable staff of excellence and achievement. I want to thank Jennifer McMillan and Rashida Kamal and their colleagues in the Price Center, including Elaine Hagan, who provides the leadership of the organization, my assistant, Gabby Ramirez, I want to thank also Caroline Sue and the development team that have been partners with us in trying to get to where we want to go. Yeah, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Oh, yeah, okay. And of course, Markham deserves a big hand as well. Pat Godefroy, Britt Brenson, Jill Heisey, Vanessa Carey, and the whole team was useful. But at the foundation of all of this is those essential folks that make a difference here. I want to single out the building services team who helped put all of this together so that we could be here. And Dean Bernardo, Tony, it's been great being your colleague all these years. And you and your office have shown nothing but great support for this legacy, whatever it might develop. Thank you for that as well. Well, it's 50 years. It's been 50 years. Yep. And I have really benefited from all the deans I worked with, the chairman and my colleagues. And I really remember when I first came to UCLA and Professor Lippman took me under his wing and his wife Nancy, and I had to learn him go through his piano lessons. They were kind to let me come to their house and feed me and stuff. Those were the days in which I was a bachelor and you try to find a meal wherever you could, So Steve, I want to thank you for all of that. Let Nancy know, okay? This support is not always easy to accomplish, but I've got to tell you, when you got a school whose named benefactor is John Anderson, that also helps open doors and build activities. And I was proud to be able to wear that banner, and I wear it in my hat very proudly. And I hope you appreciate the branding we've taken to Liberty, Pat. I hope you don't mind, but you approved it anyway, so it's okay, of having this kind of up front. UCLA Anderson. So thank you. To the staff, let me just say this place can't run without you. And I know that it's not often, sometimes the wellness of the staff is not a key priority for everybody, but I'd like to think that in this institution it is. And the countless efforts you demonstrate every day coming in and out to really make a difference in the life of the faculty and those of us who have the teaching program cannot go understated. You make Anderson better every day. And so for those of you who are here, who have known and I've known over these years, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I want to talk now just a little bit about a pivot I made many years ago, to be precise, in 1977. I was privileged to have been granted tenure at UCLA back in '78, so I've been privileged to be able to have a platform to speak truth and really try to make a difference. But I pivoted from being just a regular financial economist to really understand who has impact in business. What kind of impact do those individuals whose careers are as business developers have on our economy? And this particular pivot led me to begin to create what we know about the Price Center. Others have said a lot about their experience and the programs that it offers, but I just want to piggyback on a couple of things and remind you that I have been blessed to be able to work with the Venture Fellows Program and the Ventures Fellows that have been produced over the years, the Management Development for Entrepreneurs Program, which creates access to business opportunities for those who couldn't come to business school but are out there making a difference. And I want to talk, of course, to our efforts in dealing in the underserved, working with Head Start, working with community health centers, which has been an enormous satisfaction to me. So those are 3 areas that I want to say something. So if you'll indulge me a little bit, I'm going to elaborate on a couple of those, because it is about what Mel mentioned. It is about how those relationships develop and endure if you sustain them. When I was on leave at the Brookings Institute and at the Securities and Exchange, one day I met a man by the name of Kip Hagopian. In fact, Kip is here, and Kip hosted the very first venture fellow who you saw on the screen by the name of Jeff Deutschman back in '81, more than 40 years ago at Brentwood Associates. I haven't said this publicly, but Kip's impact has been enormous in my life. Because not only did he open careers for our students, he was an advocate whenever I needed someone to support that track, because Anderson MBAs at that time couldn't get opportunity in venture capital and private equity. But the Venture Fellows Program created a chance for that to happen. And since that time, 275 students have gone through the program. 30 of them are here today, I understand. And so while I can't single out all of you, I'd like to recognize the stewardship and support over the years that some of you have done. Tom Peterson, John Stolpnagel, Derek Kozako, as well as Anderson Price Center board members Nick Memo, Jay Ferguson, and Dan Leff, all venture fellows, and all of them outstanding business developers and Americans, and I'm proud of you. Oh, gosh. All of you were part of helping me build a curriculum and the way in which it developed and building the blend that's necessary between what can be called as what we learn and how we practice it and how we experience it and make something happen with it. Thank you for being great examples. But you know, access for some entrepreneurs who are struggling is not easy. And I quickly learned about the challenges small businesses faced that couldn't come to their leaders to learn at a place like UCLA. They didn't have an MBA degree. We're out there struggling. And I was encouraged then by the state of California to develop an educational program to assist entrepreneurs in becoming qualified suppliers for larger enterprises. In an effort to create access and opportunities in that sector for small businessmen, particularly minority and women and veteran-owned businesses, I partnered with some of the largest utilities in the state, and they provided resources to us to make things happen. And to this day, I'm privileged to be able to say that whether it's Southern California Edison, whether it's Pacific Bell, now AT&T, whether it's the PG&E, through all of this, one of our partners has been Union Bank, and I really much appreciate the support that they've given us over the years to make it possible for entrepreneurs to get MBA-like education right here at UCLA. We've graduated 1,500 of those over the years, and they're out there, and they're doing it. And they're adding value, and they're improving the supply chains of these large utilities. So Richard Chacon, you're here, thank you, and Union Bank for being a big partner in all of that. Yeah, it's okay to applaud if you wanted to now. Yeah, we don't want to upset Eno too much, so that's okay. But there are a couple of other programs over the years, and if it wasn't for the ingenuity in the Price Center, the work of my colleagues and the staff, and in particular, we wouldn't have, for example, an entrepreneurship boot camp for veterans with disability. I mean, Elaine Hagen was instrumental in getting that done. We cooperated with Syracuse University. We have graduated 275 vets who want to be business owners. And many of these vets have disabilities that would challenge any one of us in any given day. But I'm glad to know that we continue to do that program, and we'll do it again this year. We've done other things too. Global salon management. I got some friends here who are part of the salon management business. I want to thank you, Kristen, wherever you are, for making all of that happen. And why am I telling you all of this? Well, I'm telling you that the kinds of things that we learned at a place like UCLA, the fundamentals of how to run a business and how to think about strategy and finance and other issues, are important in other spheres. And there are folks who don't have access, and it is our job, and with the public mission we have, to go help them and try to do something about improving their fortunes so that they too can participate in building wealth in this country. And I'm a little conscious now because I've run out of the original time I had allocated for myself. But if you'll hang with me for 5 more minutes, is that cool? I knew you'd say that, but I just had to be sure. Okay, Jay. I just want to say kind of what can happen if you try to go out and do the right thing. Doing MDE and working with these entrepreneurs and the model we developed encouraged the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world, Johnson & Johnson, to come knocking on our door and saying, can you do that for Head Start? Can you do that a little bit later for community health clinics? And of course, as Bonnie has suggested, I said, yeah, we can do it. And so the MDE program led us to be able to work with Head Start and directors of these clinics who care about children of those who are least cared for in this country, give a little early Head Start, advance to school, groups that down millions of children every day go to Head Start. Those families are underserved, they need help, and we wanted to be there to help improve the management prospects of those who lead those organizations. And we've had a lot of success. I forget the numbers, but we've had more than close to a couple thousand go through these programs when we add them all together. And they're out there making it happen in tough economic environments. And we're going to have them here on campus starting on Sunday for another couple of programs that we couldn't do in person during the pandemic. And coming to UCLA is an important part of it. Yeah, we can do some of it online, but coming to UCLA is what creates this added value of being in this environment. So, boy, this is dripping. I want to also single out a few people in the Price Center family and that have been very supportive over the years, and you've heard about some of them. You heard about Bonnie Beatty. Bonnie Beatty and the Price Foundation. I hope that we've made them proud. Over the years, the curriculum that we developed has been multiple global #1 rankings, and always in larger groups and a few other rankings over the years. And I hope we do you proud in that regard for what it is we're doing, students, fulfilling the mission and the vision of your grandfather. Yes, thank you. Okay, I was looking for that. Thank you. I also want to take a minute to give a special mention and appreciation to Bill Cockrum. You've heard about Bill, and you all know we've been through thick and thin for 38 years, and I was glad to have recruited him when he was thinking about whether or not he goes to New York and works in Merrill Lynch, and he's become a great professor. And he himself, we were able to celebrate last month, is an icon in this constellation. And so Bill, I appreciate you, the many efforts that you've done for all of us and how you've worked on our behalf for both Anderson and UCLA. Thank you for all of that. A couple more thank yous. I want to thank the Wedbush family, who I've been privileged to work with for many, many years. And you heard Eric, and we'll continue to work. But they, too, have been significant supporters of things that we've been trying to do at UCLA. Other members of the board and supporters like Kit Jennings and Jim Friedman, Pat Moran, Craig, Rich Wiley have stepped up to provide the capital that we are hoping to raise to match what it is that the Price Foundation has put forth. I am pleased to let you know that we're well on the way to getting all of that done. And Bonnie, I can say is that we've met your match already. And I think that I can circle firmly about 8 million of what it is that we're trying to get to. And I see where the next couple is going to come from. So we don't want to admit that it's done, but it's going to get done. So thank you for encouraging me to match that commitment. I think you'll be pleased with some of the names I've just mentioned that are there. Thank you for allowing us to stretch. So it's too numerous to mind. All of you have an opportunity to be part of this if you should so choose. And I want to share with you a way of doing that. I know, Tony, I couldn't help myself. But I want to talk a little different about how you can get involved, because I want to talk about the heart here. You all know about IQ, and some of you know about the term that's being bandied around on EQ, you know, the emotional intelligence and so on. So in closing, I want to talk to you about something that I'm going to call CQ, which is, I'm inventing something, the charitable quotient. So I want all of us to kind of think about what is our charitable quotient? I'm defining CQ as a measure of our empathy for other human beings. It's a demonstration of how we want to promote and help others have access and opportunity that we may have had. It's about putting society and others ahead of ourselves. And it is demonstrated by, I think, promoting how you create and build social capital through mentoring or connecting or sustaining relationships with others. And I want all of us to believe that we can discover the power of our own philanthropy on behalf of others and be okay with doing that. And so I want to encourage individuals, others, to support in other ways. As was mentioned, and in appreciation for the many supports that I've had over the years, I want to give each of you who took the time to come here a gift. On your table, you will see a printout of a QR code that I believe will allow those of you who choose to enhance your own charitable quotient by establishing and or adding to a donor-advised fund. And I will do so with a contribution of $100 to every family. I've sort of done the math, so it might cost me upwards of $50,000 or so if everybody checks in. Because to my family and me, our own charitable giving has been enhanced by establishing a donor-advised fund. We did so many years ago, and I was privileged to have met the guy who invented the idea, which is Ned Johnson, the founder of Fidelity Investments, because he believed that every American family ought to have the means of being charitable, that they could have a savings account for charity. They could have a charitable quotient. And I bought into that idea, and in the interest of full disclosure, I served on the board of Fidelity Charitable for 14 years I stepped down earlier this year. I'm wearing my governance hat right now, as I let you know, so I don't want anybody to believe that there's a conflict of interest in me facilitating this. But each of you, if you so choose, will receive follow-up details about that thing that is being described on it. You see, I want all of you to be philanthropists. I want all of you to have a savings account for charity that you can go to whenever you want to make gifts for others who may not have had the access or privilege that you enjoy. And so, I want to thank all of you for coming. This is a very moving moment for me, and I thank you all. Please continue the celebration. Let the party go on. Thank you for your attendance. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you.